how I spent my summer vacation. Reading. So clearly, I really like books. And during quarantine, since we stopped school in early March for NTI, I've read about 75 books. So most years I try to read about 100. And this year, hopefully, I'm going to meet my goal really easily and go a little further than that. So I wanted to tell you about a few books I really enjoyed this summer, uh, which you might want to check out yourselves. This one's called The City We Became, and it's by a really great sci-fi fantasy author called N.K. Jemisin. A lot of people talk about cities as having a kind of magic or a spirit of their own, and this is about how New York City becomes kind of a magical, mystical force of its own, as five people, one for each of the boroughs, inhabit the spirit of New York. She's one of my favorite authors, and this is her newest, which I really liked. This is one of my all-time favorite books. This is called The Secret History by Donna Tartt. The Secret History is a story about five college students at a college in rural Vermont who murder one of their friends. Why they did it and how they get away with it. And I've probably read it 4 or 5 times. The first one in high school when I was a senior. And this last one is truly massive and another of my all-time favorites. This is Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell by Susanna Clark. And this copy is actually signed. It's a signed first edition, which I bought at the Strand bookstore in New York City, which is my favorite bookstore in the world. Jonathan Strange is a story of the time of Napoleon in British history. And it's a history just like our own, except magic is real. Magic existed a long time ago, but it's disappeared in the world until these two magicians, Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, bring it back and use their magic to both fight Napoleon the war and to try and bring magic back to all of Great Britain. I actually read this one on Kindle because it's a lot easier to carry around than this massive book. Over the course of the year, I'll talk a lot about the books I'm reading, and I want to hear all about the books you're reading. I also want you all to always remember that it's fine to read trashy books, even kind of dumb books. You read whatever you want to. I've read a lot of Star Wars books in my day. I'm not particularly proud of them, but I love them, and there's something that I revisit a lot. So anything you want to read, I encourage you to do it. I also have a book club that will probably meet online, and I'd love to have you as a member. I'll have more info on that later on. So now I want to talk a little bit about history and a little bit about the class that you're going to be in with me.